Hey, let me see the bottle cap opener.
Yeah, someone sent us these bottle openers. The box didn't come with a name. It just said, like, it came with a note that said, "Love the RT podcast. Thought you would like these bottle openers."
Whoever you are, you were 100% correct. And sorry about that, because sometimes when you buy stuff from other places, they're just kind of dickheads and they don't put the gift messages right on there. I'm fairly certain we do. But so here's the way it works. See this bottle? Here's what I'm going to describe it to the audience who doesn't have a video. So I have a bottle, and then there's this thing that looks like a sleeve that goes over the top of it, and you just press it down like a stamp.
Yeah, it's like you're jacking the bottle off, and then beer comes out.
Oh, you cut away.
Cut away, like right as I did it. Anyway, that's how it works.
Look, give it back. I'm gonna do
Excellent job,
an
Cole.
amazing demonstration.
So that's why all these bottles are open right here.
Get a close up on this.
So I described it for those of you who don't have video on your podcast, or those of you who are watching this particular video podcast.
Okay,
Wink.
he's gonna do it again. Don't cut away.
You're wasting so much
It's over
beer.
there.
We're not
It's over
wasting this beer. We're gonna drink the beer.
You can't
All
see
right.
it there.
Can't see the beer. Eventually,
There you go.
there.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
These are all twist offs.
This one. This is confusing. Put that away. Here we
Gavin
go.
has had so much fun with this.
You missed one. You missed two.
There you go.
Works like a charm every
I
time.
can't wait till we have to take Gavin to the
I
hospital.
get overexcited, but it's really fun to.
So how many of those are you going to drink tonight?
Well, all
I
of them
think
now.
you opened every beer in that.
Yeah,
fucking
you're not
box.
obligated to get totally hammered at this point.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Which
Yeah.
one's mine?
So it's called the Decapitator.
Aha, Barbara, that's like tailor-made for you. Come on.
No,
Decapitator? Is
Yeah.
that like emphasized? Oh, just.
the best puns are the subtle puns.
You
don't
thought
have
that
to
was
explain it.
subtle?
Yeah.
well, it's not really a pun though, is it? If it's just the word, it's not funny.
It's still a play on words because it has the word
No,
cap in it.
because decapitation is to take a human head off. I
Yeah.
don't think you can
It's like-
decapitate anything else.
I mean, you are taking the top off.
You can decapitate
Well, it
animals.
works.
It just doesn't have a head.
Yeah, but you would not. Would you? Can you decapitate a statue?
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that decapitated?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess
Oh,
you're
you
right.
can Decapitate
Puns
anything
are in
with
a weird gray
But
area. That's why they're
Bottles
not funny.
don't have heads. You cannot decapitate a bottle unless
you can decap them.
decapitate it. Decap it.
Decapitate.
Decapinator.
Yeah, this is confusing.
But
But that's
decapper.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah, whoever sent those in, thank you very much. Sorry,
you know us.
decapitator.com or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Did the
Didn't
guy
put your
work
name on the slip.
For the company, or is he
I don't
just.
know. I don't know.
A transoceanic flight with Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
on.
it was
do they do it?
$14.95 for Wi-Fi the whole.
Done.
Yeah, for like a 15-hour flight.
Absolutely.
Because I thought planes, when they have Wi-Fi in the air, aren't they just beaming crap from Earth the whole time?
I think it's satellite.
Satellite.
they're just going straight to space.
I pay $14.95 for a 2-hour flight. For
It
internet,
does say it's
honestly.
beaming it to the ground. So,
Yeah, to
Yeah.
the ocean.
but I'm sure it's actually just going to a satellite. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're closer to the Earth than space, though.
Close to the Earth and space, yeah, but we're used to communicating with space stuff.
From a plane?
What's that? We communicate with space stuff from the ground all the time with satellites.
Yeah, ground's big though.
Yeah, it is. It's
Plane's
enormous.
small. Like, can you? All right.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. So the enormous ground communicates with the sky, the
Yeah.
satellites.
Well, I feel like you got all this like giant antenna stuff to communicate with space.
Because you're
Can you
standing
do
on
it
the
from-
Earth. The Earth is like a big reflector dish.
No, I'm saying there's like.
No, because that would sound stupid, guys.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? The Earth is shaped like this. Antennas are shaped like this.
Gavin, let me ask you
You
this.
need to cut the Earth in half, and then you got two
Let
discs.
me ask you this.
Yeah.
A plane has GPS in it. Do you agree with that? Most
Uh-huh.
most modern planes do. In fact, when I use Fog of the World, it is fucking disturbing when I can put my phone in the window and I can pick up the GPS satellites from my phone.
But you're not going to the satellites from your phone, though, are you?
What? Am I not? Why am I not?
Because-
GPS I still pick up from the satellites, dude. In fact, when I'm in a plane, I have no data signal. I can't see the map because the map won't load because I have no data signal, but I can still get my GPS location.
So it doesn't go to a data point on Earth and then get sent to space.
I have no
Because-
data connection. I don't know how it would do that. My assumption has always been I get the signal from
Well,
the
you
satellites.
don't use data for GPS positioning.
I
I'm
don't.
saying, will that still go through a cell tower to space, or is it going
I
from
have
your
no
phone?
signal. Is what I'm saying. I have no signal, and I can still get my GPS coordinates.
Well, surely you'd have great signal if you're right near a space satellite.
Well, I don't think I get service to the satellites. I just get GPS. But what I'm saying is that when I look at my like when I'm flying from Austin to LA, which I do a lot, the plane will go right down the path that I've already been down because I can see exactly the trajectory I took before. The plane sometimes will just line up directly on that,
It would have to.
and that's like a city block difference is the width of that path.
it would
really
have to
cool.
communicate directly with the satellite, wouldn't it?
It would.
GPS.
I would think so.
The GPS is just different. It's just time, isn't it? Like hitting from 3 locations.
I think they have to compensate for time.
But I think that's how it calculates. It's how long it takes the signal to come from different satellites. to
Yeah,
your
like
device.
they're all doing the same time, but the What? The delay in
Nope,
time from
it's all
3
you.
different ones positions you on the Earth.
So you get the time
So I
from
guess
3
it would
different
have to-
satellites, and then the device figures it out from there.
Yeah, because of the delay.
But you'd also know where the satellites are too, right?
Huh?
They have to give you positional data for where they are.
Right. I think they
Well, that's
each
how they
have.
figured it out.
Yeah, they each have their own like identifier.
I've never known how it worked. That
I
makes
think-
sense.
yeah, it's
the
a
way
delay in
the
time.
thing you just described. But my point, going back to my original point was, a plane has GPS on it, so it communicates with satellites already. So the fact that it would communicate with the satellite for data is entirely possible. I don't know that that's the case, but I think so.
It's got to be the case.
Because you get it
especially-
like over Arizona, and there's no data anywhere around
Well,
there.
especially flying over the Pacific Ocean, like I said
Fuck
earlier.
Arizona.
There's nothing there.
No.
Unless there's a fucking giant whale with an antenna on it.
Or like boys.
Buoys.
Buoys?
Oh, yeah.
Boys.
I was imagining a bunch of little boys walking around with like tiny
It's
little thing on
it's
their head.
buoyancy.
Yes, it is.
It's not
Are we gonna get into this
it's
argument
not
again?
buoyancy.
Did you see?
Is it urine or urine?
Oh, here we go. So if I tell a story, let's establish rules for the podcast here. If I tell a story, can I say before I tell the story that I don't want Jordan to animate it? Is that possible?
You can say it.
Can we do that?
You just
No, I think
insult
that-
him all the way through the story, and then he won't want to.
That's gonna make him want to do it more.
Just talk about him and
Put him in the story.
and things that make him mad. If I won't say what makes him mad, because then he'll fucking
Just change all the
animate it.
names to Jordan, and he won't want to animate it.
So Ashley busted me watching porn.
You already. Oh,
Oh.
So yeah,
She says she didn't do it.
she didn't do it.
Wait,
so,
who did?
So I go through the whole story here. Okay.
Oh, where's this going?
So it was one of those nights when I was downstairs doing something and she went to bed early. Okay, like she would like
Just wait till the morning.
like 11, right? So like 11. So I went upstairs and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Blah blah. And she's like, "I'm really tired." and
Having none
everything."
of it.
Yeah. Well, she was like, "I'm really tired." I'm like, she was already half asleep, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Nice." And I was like, "No, don't worry about it. Just go to sleep. It's no big deal." So then I'm laying there. I'm laying there in bed. I think all guys have been there before. I'm laying there in bed. I'm like,
Pitch a tent.
yeah. I was like, maybe I should have taken her up on it. I'm like, nah. I was like, I'll just go downstairs. So I go downstairs. Get out the laptop. Take care of business. Everything's fine.
You didn't do it on your phone for ease?
Everything's fine. Go to sleep.
get a
What's
bigger
that?
screen.
Didn't go on your phone?
Let him finish the story.
No, I used the computer in the living room. It's a lot easier. No, I'm just kidding. I used the laptop for it. Oh, no, actually, you're right. What am I saying? It's a very important story. I used my phone. I absolutely did use my phone.
Never mind. Thank you, Gavin.
And actually, I'm
You're
glad
welcome.
you corrected me.
You're
I'm glad
welcome.
you corrected me. So everything was fine. Went up. Barbara, when you can't sleep, does it ever cross your mind to masturbate to go to sleep?
All the time.
Oh, does it? Does that work for ladies
Well,
as
she
well?
does it like 12 times a day or like 7 or
She
something.
just does it because she thinks about it because she's awake, right? Is that a thing? Anyway, so guys, it's a sleep technique.
It's, no, well,
For women too.
you don't want to sleep in like an ooze.
No, wait, I'm not doing it right there.
No,
I'm not doing it.
Are
There's
you talking about for
there's-
girls?
No, for dudes, it's like post ooze.
Oh, I get you. Sure, I get you. That's part of life.
It's
What are you
also
gonna
a sleeping technique for women.
do? Okay, there you go. Fair enough. Let's get
It's a
away from
sleeping
his
technique
ooze
for
discussion.
humans.
At least myself. Speaking as a woman, that's what I
So
do.
everything was fine. Everything was totally fine. Everything was great. Whatever.
What kind were you watching?
Listen, we'll get to that in a second. So the next day we're getting ready for work, and we're getting ready. We're getting everything set, and I had something that I needed to put in the trunk of the car. Ashley gets in the car. The car activates because I open the trunk and it recognizes me and activates me, and then the car goes, "Hey, Bluetooth," and connects to my Bluetooth and starts playing what's on my phone. I'm outside the car. I don't have any idea that this is taking place. I
So she's in the car surrounded by
I get in the fucking car and I get halfway to work and the radio's been turned down, but it's got the URL like up on the thing with the description of the
Oh
file.
my
and everything.
god.
And it's right there. She goes, "What are you listening to?" And she even gave me a great out. She goes, "Oh, you did a risky click?" I'm like, "No, I just straight up busted for that." What are you
So
gonna
was
do?
it turned down when she got in the car, or was it turned up and she
I
kinda
was
like
all I know was turned down when I got in, and she was just like a little beat red and like listening to that.
Actually, did you turn it down, or was it already all the way up?
It was pretty far down. She says.
So you just you're finished and you just locked the phone? You didn't close the video?
Classic mistake. I just locked
It's a
the phone.
dangerous world we live in.
It is.
Imagine if that was like a presentation or something.
There's a lot of stories of people doing that for presentations.
And you know how like the phone now...
Fucking car from the future. Shit, piece
ratting
of
you
shit.
Yep.
Because like phones now have that handoff thing with Macs, so it's like anything you're doing on your phone,
Yeah.
with one click is on your Mac if you want it to be. And it's like that's
Or like
really-
Chromecast or AirPlay, anything like that.
Yeah. So, what was it?
Don't worry about it.
Was it some girl on girl?
What's that? No. I don't watch a lot of girl on girl
Guy
stuff.
on guy.
Yeah, it was all guy on guy.
I knew it.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
I like. I'm pretty. I think I'm pretty vanilla in my taste.
Missionary.
Yeah, it was missionary between a married couple on their honeymoon. after a priest told them it was okay to go for it. I can't even remember.
They were having sex through the sheets.
Yeah.
Cut a little hole.
Oh, there's some cool artwork that just pops up.
Yeah, Lauren drew you having
Oh.
fun with the decapitator.
Can I admit
That's
that I
tough.
was kind of hoping that Lauren tonight was going to draw? Lauren Crozier's posted something on Twitter here, and it's Gavin opening the bottles with the decapitator. I was actually kind of hoping she would draw all of you guys floating down the river on Jack. That's what I was hoping she would draw.
Well,
So she
Still
drew
has
something
time.
else. What is
after
this?
your story, it's not going to be that.
Oh, what? Come on.
Jordan's gonna animate that.
I can't. You know,
He has to.
that. I don't want him to animate that.
Why?
Ugh.
It's so good.
At least he hasn't animated you having a wet dream on the plane.
Yeah,
That would be really embarrassing.
I've told really embarrassing stories on this fucking podcast.
You have.
We all
You guys
have.
are dickheads.
Oh, Gavin hasn't. Gavin never tells
Gavin
embarrassing
told the
stories.
story of him shitting himself.
Yeah, I
Embarrassing.
pooed 5 times in a day in my pants.
Well, Gavin told us. You told us on the
Small
podcast that you
detail.
just don't masturbate when you're in a relationship at all.
What?
Didn't you say that?
He just says he doesn't masturbate often. Or like, there's some days he goes
What
without
did you
doing
say,
it.
Gavin?
Gavin just now he's clamming up. He's just gonna stay silent until we refocus the attention away from him.
You know, there's other stuff to do. It's busy. And you don't. Why aren't you busy?
Busy. It was like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, just go and do something else.
It also
Like,
doesn't take a couple hours.
Well, maybe it does sometimes.
Getting raw.
Lauren also drew whale Wi-Fi.
I got you. That's cute. That's the cutest whale I've
All
ever
right,
seen.
let's talk about something else here.
Not
Let's
about,
talk.
not about your embarrassing stories.
Gus, I've been wanting to talk to you about this for such a long time.
But not me and Gavin? That's
No,
cool.
you guys take it
That's
easy.
fine.
Take a
No,
break, take
you
five.
wait till you hear this, Barb. This is such a Gus thing.
Oh,
so I
God.
read this story about this thing called Universe 25.
What is? Okay.
And Universe 25 was a guy. Let me pull it up here. I think he was in the 70s. He made a utopia for mice, and he called it. In
It was the 70s,
1972.
okay.
In 1972, John B. Calhoun detailed the specification of his mortality-inhibiting environment for mice, a practical utopia built in the laboratory. Every aspect of Universe 25, as this particular model was called, was pitched to cater for the well-being of its rodent residents and increase their lifespan. And that was it. That was the whole experiment. He made this thing that was like a utopia for mice. They wouldn't be in any danger, and all it did was work to increase their lifespan.
what kind of amenities are they rocking in there then?
I think they even had like
A little mouse TV.
they had little penthouses and everything else like that.
maybe?
The penthouses become important later.
How cute would that be? A little mouse on a hammock.
That'd be great.
Little palm trees.
Oh, is this it? Is a
What is
video?
it?
What's that? Is that the mice? Oh, that's it.
That
guess
looks
that's it.
awful.
Speedy.
It looks crowded. What if the mice is an introvert?
Okay, so here's
mouse.
what
What
happened,
if?
Gavin. They went through generations, and then
Oh, they're multicolored.
So what exactly happened in Universe 25? Past day 315, this is after multiple generations of mice being born, population growth slowed. More than 600 mice now lived in Universe 25, constantly rubbing shoulders on their way up and down the stairwells to eat, drink, and sleep. Mice found themselves born into a world that was more crowded every day, and there were far more mice than there were meaningful social roles. With more and more peers to defend against, males found it difficult and stressful to defend their territory, so they abandoned the activity. Normal social discourse within the mouse community broke down, and with it, the ability for mice to form social bonds. The failures and dropouts congregated in large groups in the middle of the enclosure. That sounds like Reddit. Their listless withdrawal occasionally interrupted by spasms and waves of pointless violence. The victims of these random attacks became attackers themselves. I'll skip ahead here. Left on their own in nests subject to invasion, nursing females attacked their own young. Procreation slumped. Infant abandonment or mortality soared. Lone females retreated to isolated nesting boxes in the penthouse levels. Other males, a group Calhoun termed the, quote, beautiful ones, never sought sex and never fought. They just ate, slept, and groomed, wrapped in a narcissistic introspection. Elsewhere, cannibalism, Pansexualism and violence became endemic. Mouse society utterly collapsed.
So they were too happy and too comfortable that their whole society fell apart.
They just grew too much, and there became too many people, or too many mice. And the fact there were too many mice broke down society as a whole. To the point where they resorted to cannibalism, even though they had food, and like pansexualism and violent behavior. So like every social norm just basically broke down because of overpopulation.
How many were there at that point?
You said over 600, I think?
Yeah, more than 600 mice now lived in Universe 25.
So he broke mice. Like, would a new mouse from that family of mice, would it have the same natural instincts to a normal mouse?
No, I won't read that because I just read a bunch of it. But you can read this. We'll post a link in the link dump. But you can look up Universe 25. I'm trying to read about it. That point was like the peak of the civilization. And that was the point at which procreation slowed down, and there was no recovery, and the whole population just dwindled and utterly collapsed and was extinct by, I think, day 500.
So they all died?
Day 560.
Was there never like two mice left to like start over?
Oh no! Wait. At 560, the population peaked at 2,200 mice, and that's when then it collapsed from there, and they went extinct.
So every single mouse was gone.
Yeah, I mean they naturally died, and
Yeah,
then
but,
they,
like,
didn't,
what-
they
They
stopped
procreating.
having kids. Yeah. They just stopped producing new kids.
That's so bizarre.
It's
weird.
such a bizarre. It reminds me of the dolphin thing.
It's a really cruel experiment.
With the LSD.
Yeah. It's funny that you remember the LSD and not the hand jobs. Like you go to that. I always go to the hand jobs.
Well, that was a factor in the hand jobs.
It was a huge factor. I was dropping LSD. Nobody dropped LSD with the mice.
Unfortunately.
I like that there was a group called the Beautiful Ones that just groomed themselves all day.
Yeah, and they
Kinda
would
like
sit in
humans.
narcissistic introspection. I love that.
How do they know they were introspective?
I think they were just like grooming each other, like the fact that they were grooming themselves all
It's
day.
so cruel, and you'd never get away with it now, but it's really interesting.
Why wouldn't you get away with it now? You don't think you get away with that?
They still do experiments like that.
It's really?
Yeah.
Even with like animal rights as big as it is?
If it's for like scientific purposes, I think that, if they're not actually harming them.
Yeah.
In Europe, they don't have the same regulations as far as two people having to be in the cockpit at all times. Because if you've flown here in the U.S., when one pilot leaves the cockpit, the senior flight attendant goes in and takes their place.
I didn't know
really?
that.
I didn't know that.
I see it all the time.
That's smart.
I just figured they were
You know what?
hanging out.
When they do that exchange, I don't look at them. I'm like, I don't want them to think that I'm like plotting.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid like that.
It's so funny how that's the way the world is now, is that you want to be really careful on a flight that, as an innocent person, you don't want to be seen as a malicious person.
When you're ever shopping, like in a convenience store or something like that, do you ever present yourself in a way that shows you're not stealing stuff?
All the time.
Any
All the
store.
time.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
you're
do.
like,
Or if
I
you're driving
put my
next
hand
to
in
a
my
cop.
pocket, but I have to clearly demonstrate that I
Here
didn't
is my
steal it.
phone. Tap, tap, tap. Phone, my phone, back in the
I
pocket.
don't do that in those situations because I quite like that procedure being done on me, but me coming out innocent. Because then I feel like I passed the
I
test.
think we talked about that before.
Yeah,
You said
like,
that, yeah.
I love procedure if it's fine for me. Like I love it when they search my bag and it's like, damn right, my bag's fine. Thank you very much.
I do
Yeah.
that at CVS though. Like if I
Shame
have
on you.
to put my cell phone in my purse, I'll make sure that I'm in like a really wide aisle
In the
that
middle.
they could see you, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but even if they stop you and search you, you're fine.
yeah,
They're
but
not gonna. You're gonna go to jail.
Did you see like a lot of the behaviors that TSA agents look for in lines to screen people like leaked out onto the internet?
I feel like I don't want to read that though, because then I'll do it
Right.
subconsciously.
It was a lot of like dumb stuff.
what
Like
were they?
the one I remember is like if someone's looking down a lot,
At anything or just at the floor?
like at the floor or like in line. It was a whole
If someone is eating candy in the candy aisle.
dumb list. I think someone.
Is it because they're avoiding eye contact?
I guess I don't know, or someone's laughing, or no, it wasn't laughing. It was
How dare you have fun at the airport?
So
Get
everyone's
out.
gonna walk. Everyone who's read this list is gonna be going through like this now.
yeah. It was just so many like dumb little
Or
things.
just like staring at everybody in line, like.
But the